Well, isn't it a lovely day to not have one car be drivable? So, if you've been following the channel for a while, you'll know of the daily touring. So that is a 318D. So it's got the N47 engine in it, which is they are known for timing chain failures. So I've known about the timing chains being on the way out for a while. This car's now on 201,000 miles, I think. And the chains have been making a racket for a while. But the other day, started it up to go to work on the morning. It was like 5 in the morning. And the chains got rather noisy to the point where I was just waiting for them to snap. So she's parked up now. She's going tomorrow. Today's Sunday, it's going Monday to get the chains done. Because it's an engine out job and I just don't have the time or the mental capacity to deal with that right now. So that's going for that. This thing I was daily driving for a day before I got excited because I changed the lower arm bushes on the front end, and I took it for a test drive. It went well, so I came back in here, did a did a burnout first gear from about where that chicken coop is to where the Audi is, and heard a large, rather noisy bang. Pulled up, looked underneath the car, and the drive shaft was in two halves. So, word to the wise, don't do left foot braking during burnouts while rolling, sort of thing. So yeah, blew a drive shaft up. So this has, I mean, it still drives. It's a welded diff, so it still moves, but it's not really safe to drive with just one wheel. So, because obviously you've got the entire power of the car going to one wheel. Then obviously the truck doesn't run because I haven't looked at it in about 5 months or something stupid, because I wanted to get the 28 finished. So the fucking 28, when I got the bits for the engine bay aqua blasted, I got the thermostat housing, power steering pump, all the brackets, like the accessory brackets. I got all those vapor horned. So it turns out when they do vapor horning, it's got like a glass media in it. And if you use vapor horning on anything that is like a pump or leads to a pump, like lines, you've got to clean them out very well because you get like the glass sediment in the lines and the pump, and it just destroys everything. So I didn't know about that. So I put the power steering system together, put it all on, turned the car on. I had aggressive power steering to the point it actually like spanned the wheel itself. I had the front end jacked up. It turned the wheels to full lock on its own. The pump started screeching because obviously whatever was in it was like grabbing and causing it to basically pressurize the system more than it should. And yeah, that's dead now. So I took all the lines off, took everything off I could, took the pump off, put my old pump off the original engine on. I had to change all my accessory drive back to the original B20. So it's got the B20 alternator on there, which is why it looks shit. Cleaned the lines, like drained the lines out, brake cleaned the lines out, put a new reservoir on because the reservoir was full of it. The only thing I couldn't do was the steering box, so I couldn't take the steering box out and flush it. So I had to basically just take the lines off, spin the wheel a few times to like push the fluid out, put the lines back on, put everything back on, which was a nightmare, by the way, when it's not on a ramp, to get the lines back onto the top of the like these ones that go underneath the engine. Getting them back on was a pain in the ass. Put everything on, brand new power steering fluid, fired it up. I had power steering for about 5 seconds and then it died. And the I don't know if you'd be able to see in the video, it doesn't really look that bad, but it's basically, you can see the metallic. It's got like a metallicness to the power steering fluid, so I am assuming that's all dead again. So what I've had to do is, luckily, very luckily, scrapyard local to me has one of these with the exact same engine, B20, M20 B20, and that still had its full power steering system. So I've got the lines, the reservoir, the box, and the pump. They even gave me the centre rod, which I don't need, but I aren't entirely sure if the centre rod I bought for the car is the correct one. I mean, it fit and it looked right when I put it on, but I keep seeing stuff about the left-hand drive centre rod being different to the right-hand drive, and I don't know what the difference is. I can't tell. Like, there's no real distinguishing factor to me that I can see. So we'll find out when I'll put this on the ramp to do the steering box, because you've basically got to, I'm going to have to borrow Elliot's brace, engine brace, and I'm going to have to just drop the subframe so I can get the steering box out. And so I can get the lines on and everything. So that's going to be a chew, but yeah, so long story short, none of my cars work. I'm borrowing my housemate's car, thanks Charlotte, for now. I'm trying to find a drive shaft, an E46 drive shaft. Turns out, so I broke the drive shaft at 5 o'clock on Friday night. So obviously all the scrapyards shut at 5. So I had no time to ring them up and try and sort one on the day. I couldn't have blown it up at like dinner time, so I had like 5 hours. And then obviously it's the weekend, so the one scrapyard that was open yesterday didn't have it. So yeah, fucking cars, don't bother. So here's the drive shaft. As you can see, did a pretty good job of that. A few people have said they've never seen a 46 shaft just shear like that. They usually go at the CV or at the spline, but it's literally just popped. So yeah, if anybody has a drive shaft local to Teesside, by the time this video goes up I've probably found one, but put it in the comments or DM me on Instagram, because as you can see, I need one. Right folks, you joined me from the drift car. I took this home last night because it's got, for the first time in my life, I bought a car and it came with like 3/4 of a tank of fuel. So fuel is very expensive at the minute, as I'm sure a lot of you know. So I'm just trying to spread out the usage as much as I can, but this thing is a handful to daily drive, that is for sure, with it having the welded diff, and this throttle cable's very sticky for some reason. So I need to sort that out, but the main thing that you're here for, to talk about, is the cup holder. So I got in and I was like, shit, where the hell am I going to put my cup? Because for some reason the previous owner decided to totally remove the cup holder for the sake of that. So I'm not really sure why, but it takes all sorts, doesn't it? So I managed to figure out that if I move that wire, that loom, over a bit, I can just to say plonk me coffee in there and it'll actually hold it in place. I can't do it as it is at the minute. I need 2 hands to do it. But As you can see, we've had a bit of a spillage down there due to the welded diff. But yeah, for the most part, I'm calling that a win for drift car being usable, I suppose, kind of. Still has no stereo. It's got a cassette player. I need to get some cassettes out of my house. But yeah, let's have a chat, shall we, about that. So here we have my latest acquisition. Apparently I'm collecting all 3 series now, but yeah, picked this up yesterday from a guy local to me at a garage. I was taking Melon to get some tyres. It was one of those fate situations. Taking one of my mates to get tyres. This was at the garage. The guy was like, do you know anybody who wants to buy it? I was like, how much? Told me a price, slept on it, went back the next morning, said, yep, I'll have it. So this is a 2.8 manual Lux touring. So it's got, spec wise, this is ridiculous. I've never seen an E36 with any of the spec that's in this. It's got heated seats, which I didn't even know was a thing. Obviously full black leather, and it's all mint, like the seats. There's a little bit of fading on there, but the mint. Rest of the interior is also mint. Dash is mint. It's got like some old CD player in it. I'm not really bothered about that. Armrest in good nick. The back seats don't look like they've been sat in, apart from being dirty. Carpets are all mint. Door cards are mint. It's locked. This is the original. Got the original steering wheel to go in it, because that thing is not to my taste, to put it that way, and it's horrible to drive with. The boot, everything's there. It's so good. Tonneau cover. Look at that. It's like brand new, man. All under here. All the covers and everything, battery cover, side covers, all these are in good nick. Yeah, what a gem. So unfortunately, as much as a lot of people, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen that I've posted this. Had a lot of people replying saying keep this, drift it instead of the touring, but instead of the saloon. But this is too clean to even think about skidding for me. It's all there, it's just dirty. It does have a weird, there is something going on with the engine. I'm not entirely sure what it is yet. This car was basically sat in a unit for 3 years. It was started up to be pulled out every now and again, but obviously it never got up to temp. The guy who owned it would just turn it on, pull it outside and turn it straight off, so it never really got hot for 3 years. So I'm gonna have to go through it, put plugs in, oil and filter and stuff like that. I drove it to the unit. It drives lovely, apart from it didn't seem to get up to temp for some reason, and it feels like it's choked is how I'd describe it, and the exhaust does smell a bit like catalytic converter, so there's a good chance that the catalytic converter is bad, in which case it'll probably get removed, should we put it that way. So it does have a few little cosmetic issues. There's a little rust bubble there, which is really weird. I don't know why there's a rust bubble there. It's not rot, because it's still thick metal, it's just like surface rust. It's strange. The back arches look totally fine. There's a little bit of bubbling on the other side that I'll show you, but there's a little bit here. But if you know E36s, you'll know that that is absolutely fuck all. Yeah, this is probably the worst arch. It's just a good bit of bubbling on that corner, but it's nothing major. Bottoms of the sills all look mint. The roof's mint. Like, doors, the passenger side door's fine. There's a little bit on this the nose cone. Yeah, it just needs like a good clean. Go through the engine a bit, check all the vitals, and yeah, she'll be for sale. So, I forgot to tell you the mileage. I think the mileage is 102 or something thousand. Oh, it's digital, isn't it? I'll clarify the mileage, but yeah, it's low miles. It's a lovely thing. Drives mint. I need to check all the brakes and stuff, but it drives absolutely fantastic. So I'd love to keep it, but I just can't justify having 1, 2, 3, the truck and the 28 at the same time. It's just a joke. So yeah, that's the latest buy. I'll update you as I go with this, and if you're interested, drop me a message on Instagram or in the comments, and I'll get back to you. This won't be to the moon expensive for what it is. This will be affordable. I am talking to a few friends about sending it stateside, which would be cool, because this is the prime candidate for that. So yeah, I'll keep you updated. But that is one hell of a yoke. I've also just bought these off my mate Josh Lake at Gorilla Imports. So he did me a fucking mint deal on these. This is a pair of genuine rotor reps. I'm joking. The TE37 SLs, right? So these are the fucking daddy of JDM wheels, in my opinion. So he did me a good deal on these, because this one, I don't know if you can see, had a very good dint in the face. So this lip was bent in. As you can see, they're by no means a mint wheel, but we put them on the balancer even after braying that dent out. Put them up on the balancer, on Elliot's balancer, and they spin perfectly true, like they're straight as a die. So yeah, these are temporary tyres. We just shot these on to try them on the car yesterday, but these will be the steer wheels for the 46. Probably worth more than the fucking car, but I have wanted a set of TE37 SLs for probably 6 years, if not longer. I really wanted these for my PS13, but I never got to get them before I sold that. So these are 5x114, and I believe, yeah, 5x114, 17x19, but 17x9.5J ET35, I'm assuming that is. So yeah, they are fucking Sick. Can't wait to get some better sized tyres on them. I'm probably going to run like a 225. I think these are 205. Yeah. I'm going to run a 225 45 on them. The plan is to re-drill my hubs on the BM for 5x114. Obviously BMW is 5x120, but the wheel options for this is for BMs is basically OEM or $3,000 sets of wheels. So I mean, not that these aren't fucking expensive, like, but so yeah, these are a dream set of wheels. Big thanks to Josh for hooking it up and sorting me out with these for a good deal. Known Josh for years. He's a really good dude. If you need any import stuff, or like they import Japanese cars, I imagine he can get parts as well. So if you want anything for your Japanese car, make sure you give him a shout and tell him Ain't Dead sent you. But yeah, fucking mint. Right boys, so I've pulled her up to the front of the door. I'm going to give this interior a good cleaning, sort it out. So this will be a nice before and after. You see how much dust's on it. It's just been sat for like 3 years in the dusty unit, so this is what it looks like before. Just wanted to show you how disgusting cars are when you don't hoover them in a while. This needs a very good fucking clean. What's that? Yep, let's get rid of all that. Not perfect, but a damn sight better. That is, I'm not sure, but it's very sticky. I'm assuming it's an old sweet or something. But I can bolt the seat back down. I'll clean all this under there and then bolt the seat back down and then move into the back. And there's your after. All clean. Even cleaned the carpet pretty good. Seats came up mint. Centre console came up really nice. Such a clean car. Even got the dog net. Just needs a wash outside now. Genuine cats. Jacking points pretty mint. I also just wanted to say, if you do have a shop and you work on cars and make things on the regular, can't advise buying a little chuck enough. I use this all the time, not even just for machining stuff. Like, this is really good for fixturing, for welding and stuff like that. Putting stuff in just to mess about with it, like putting bolts in to run a die down them. It's such a better way of clamping stuff than a vise. And obviously you can put it in, like this is in the vise. So I can put stuff in it and just quickly nip it up. And yeah, they're a good little thing to have. I think this was only 100 and something quid. It was like 120 quid maybe off I can't even remember the name of the site. If I figure it out, I'll put it here. But yeah, bought it from a company in the UK and it's just really, really useful. So that's my little tip of the day. Right, so this is your rundown of the narrow track back end for E30s and Z3s. So first of all, you've got Z3 rear subframe, Z3 diff and hubs. What we did, we got Z4 stubs or axle, whatever you want. I don't know what it's called. I think it's a stub axle. This is, there's your part number. So these bolt straight up to the Z3 bearings, but they're a Z4 component and they are, I believe, an inch shorter each side. So this standoff here would usually be about here. So these are a good bit shorter in length. So that obviously brings your track in, but then your issue is brake discs. So the Z4 discs don't fit. We tried that. E30 discs are too wide. Well, you could use E30 4-stud discs, which I did have somewhere. Don't know where they've gone. But you'd have to re-drill them for the 5-stud. So what we did, Tom managed to find out that these discs fit. So there's your part numbers and stuff for that. The issue with the discs was, so this dimension for your drum is what we were after. However, the overall diameter of the disc was too big, so it fouled on the dust shield and the caliper didn't fit. So the bracket obviously would have came into contact with that part of the caliper there. So I had to put these in the lathe, turned them down. I can't remember exactly what dimensions I turned them down to, but if you want to know, just drop me a message, and when I get round to measuring them again, I'll tell you. So yeah, just a Mintex, pretty much OEM rear disc. So yeah, I think that's the full rundown. Like I say, it does give you a lot less track width. So if you're wanting wide, then this isn't what you want to be doing. You want to be going the other way and just leaving it Z3. But Tom wanted Z3, so 5-stud back end, but with the lower offset, the potential to run lower offset wheels, to run more dish and all lip, and have more of like an aggressive look. So yeah, we've had the freight, we've had dust shields powder coated, arms painted, subframe powder coated. It's got powder coated brackets, brand new Powerflex subframe bushes, painted the diff, cleaned the cover up, Powerflex rear bush for the diff, new braided lines. I have to make some hard lines to go along the arm, but he's got new braided lines for up in there. We got new handbrake cables, new handbrake components. So in behind there, or in here, should I say, is brand new E30 handbrake components with a fitting kit. So yeah, this back end's pretty solid now. Should be good for a good few miles, and it'll be pretty stout for the M52 conversion. So yeah, there's your rundown on narrow track Z3 back end for an E30.